Welcome everyone to our All Programs webinar. We're happy to have you here. I'm going to start some slides. We're pleased to have our webinar today supported by Neurotech. And we're here to share insights into our key initiatives. We're going to highlight some of our regional impact and opportunities and provide avenues for you to learn more about all these programs. This will be a very quick overview, but we'll give you ways to get connected with each program. And today you will meet our president, Jim Mazzo, our supporter, Neurotech's CEO, Rich Small. I'm the executive director of the Ophthalmology Foundation, and we have our program directors here with us, Nicola Quilter of Examinations, Cordula Gobble-Alpermeyer from Fellowships, Gabriella Palis for Faculty Development, and Carl Golnick, who is also the Faculty Development Chair and our Accreditation Program Chair. Our team is also here behind the scenes helping out. Jody Hicks, our Assistant Director, Rosie Hartley, and Vicki Glossop from our Examinations. And so this is a webinar, so please use the Q&A box, not the chat, which I believe is disabled, but the Q&A box, and we'll answer questions as we go along, and also highlight questions at the end during a Q&A session for everyone's use and clarification of anything that comes up. We're also recording this, so we will circulate the recording and probably our slides as well. And that will be, tomorrow or the day after once it has been processed. And so with that, we will get moving. So today, we're going to cover our 4 program areas: exams, fellowships, faculty development, and training program accreditation. We're going to start with a brief intro to kind of give you context for everything. And I would like to hand it over to our president, Jim Mazzo, to give a brief introduction of the Ophthalmology Foundation.
Well, good morning. Can everybody hear me okay? Okay, great. I'm sitting here actually at the American Glaucoma Society meeting. So as soon as this seminar, I'm going to run over and continue to make sure we talk about the Ophthalmology Foundation with many of our customers. So nice to see some friendly faces. Great to have Rich Small, our CEO from Neurotech, who's sponsoring this. I'll turn it over to in a minute. But thank you for joining us. Thank you, Christine. The Ophthalmology Foundation focuses on enhancing ophthalmic education globally through our pillars that Christine was talking about, which we're going to highlight today. We focus on increasing local capacity and skills rather than these short-term or single events, which some other groups who do a fine job. Our mission is to stay with the group to ensure education is proliferated throughout this globe. We founded this in 2020 by myself, David Pyatt, formerly of Allergan, Bruce Spivey, founding CEO of the American Academy of Ophthalmology and past president of the ICO. What's amazing about this board, and you'll hear more about it, is it's comprised of the leading ophthalmologists across the globe and also some of the best in the industry. It's probably the most illustrative group I've been able to deal with in my 48 years in ophthalmology, all with the premise of caring about training of the young ophthalmologist, particularly in low and middle income countries. And that's really, really important, is that we're here to ensure the continuity of this great profession that many of you do on a daily basis and impact lives. As I said, we have great companies like Neurotech, Alcon, AbbVie, Zeiss, Bausch & Lomb, Thea, global companies who give a lot back to ensure that what we're trying to do on a daily basis, they're involved. And obviously a great group of ophthalmic volunteers support our programs, which are led by volunteer ophthalmologists and supported by our small but mighty team led by Christine and Jody and some of the great people that have helped us throughout the years. I see people like Carl and Cordula and Bertold and Nicola, who are working on a daily basis to ensure we have these great programs. And you're going to hear more about that: the online examinations, the subspecialty fellowships, the faculty development, and the training program accreditation. So I want to thank you for taking the time today and really getting involved in this great venture that seemed like we started yesterday, but now as we enter our 5th year. And I just had a chance to talk to David earlier, and he's thrilled and continuing to make sure with Nicola to ensure we have these great programs. So without further ado, I would like to turn it over to one of our CEOs who give their time, not just their financial support, but their time, and that is the great CEO of Neurotech, Rich Small. Rich?
Thanks, Jim. And just so you know, Jim's also the chairman of Neurotech, so we thank him
Why, it's a great company then.
for for his service to that. But as he outlined, it's a privilege to be involved with the Ophthalmology Foundation. You're doing great work, and I had the privilege of joining the board just recently. Very excited about that, but also very equally excited to help sponsor their programs. And something like this is very important to Neurotech. For people that don't know Neurotech, we actually last year got a cell-based therapy approved for the retina for the orphan disease macular telangiectasia. And it was a very exciting milestone for us. We've been working on our encapsulated cell therapy now for 20 years, so it was a long haul, but now to offer a treatment for a disease that these patients had no treatment for was a huge milestone and extremely, just a great event for Jim, myself, and the whole Neurotech team. What we do is we deliver a neuroprotective to the retina, and it's actually our technology is designed to actually be a one and done treatment. So something that's very different, very unique, first cell-based therapy to ever been offered into for an ophthalmology treatment, and something that we very much look forward to actually take our technology and to expand it to other eye diseases. So long story short, Neurotech's very involved and very invested in the ophthalmology community, and we're thrilled to sponsor such great programs and great foundations like the Ophthalmology Foundation. So thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Rich. And now I would like to introduce our examinations director, Nicola Quilter. I'm going to start my slides again so that we have them for everyone. Here we go. And off we are.
I'm going to turn my video off if that's okay, just whilst I'm doing this, just because I haven't got a great reception. But good morning, everyone, and good afternoon. Today, I'd like to share an overview of the Ophthalmology Foundation's online international examinations, what they involve, how they're delivered, and how they support our trainees and trainers worldwide. At the core, these examinations provide accessible, affordable, high-quality ophthalmology assessments for trainees across the globe. They support two key objectives. First, global standardization of knowledge, and second, structured career progression in ophthalmology, ultimately helping ophthalmologists provide better care for their patients. They are built to be high quality, modern, efficient, accessible, and affordable. This is not simply an examination program. It is part of our commitment to strengthening ophthalmic education internationally. Next slide, please. The IOF exams consist of three papers: visual sciences, optics refraction and instruments, and clinical sciences. They're based on the AAO Basic and Clinical Sciences course, ensuring alignment with internationally recognized standard. The examinations use multiple choice and single best answer format. They deliver twice annually in March and September. They are fully online at local test centres with both in-person and online invigilation, securing a double layer of security. And they are standardized by an international team of experts using an IOFF method. Next slide, please. A key difference is language access. All three exam papers are translated into French, Mandarin, Portuguese, and Spanish, and this sitting in March, Vietnamese. Candidates may switch between English and the translated version during the examination itself. This lowers barriers to entry and expands our global reach, particularly in emerging markets. New centres can also be arranged on request, allowing flexible geographical expansion without heavy infrastructure investment. Next slide, please. From a candidate's perspective, the value proposition is clear. First, cost accessibility. Fees are significantly lower than any comparable international ophthalmic exam. Pricing is scaled according to the World Bank Index, ensuring fairness and global affordability. We've also implemented a payment plan which allows fees to be divided into 3 segments or 6 segments from March, expanding the reach further. Next slide, please. Second is professional progression. Candidates earn points towards an IOFF Fellowship, and from September 27, the examinations will be required for fellowship applications. Successful candidates receive FIOF, the Fellow of the International Ophthalmology Foundation. For trainees, this provides clarity and recognition. For trainees and institutions, it provides assurance and benchmarking against an internationally aligned standard. Next slide, please. To further elevate the program, we award a $10,000 David and Molly Pyatt travel grant annually for the top clinical candidate across the March and September sitting. This raises the prestige of the examinations, incentivises high performance, and it enhances our visibility. It also reinforces excellence as a core value of our foundation. It positions the OF exams not only as accessible, but also aspirational. Next slide, please. The OF exams are designed for international ophthalmology trainees, for individuals seeking global recognition standards, and for candidates who may not have access to more costly or geographically restrictive examinations. Unlike some traditional exams, the OF exams focus on accessibility, scaled global affordability, direct linkage to OF fellowships, IOFF fellowships, flexible centre creation, and multilingual access. They're designed for global reach without sacrificing quality, and this positions the foundation in both inclusive and rigorous. Next slide, please. We're also introducing subspecialty exams, online multiple choice, and a clinical component, hopefully from March 2027. We're also looking to gain reciprocity with some of the Royal Colleges in the UK and have a meeting tomorrow with the Royal College of Physicians in Glasgow. We're also looking for further collaboration. Next slide, please. From a strategic perspective, these examinations expand our global footprint, increase engagement in low and middle income countries, create a fellowship pipeline, strengthen brand authority in ophthalmic education, and provide a scalable model without heavy fixed infrastructure. They represent substantial growth platforms within the country itself and allows us to align with local institutes. In summary, the OF online international exams are robust, globally accessible, and strategically aligned with our fellowship program, offering exceptional programs and infrastructure for trainees. They offer opportunity and also for benchmarking the trainees within your own organisation. And for the wider ophthalmic community, they strengthen standards across borders and allow the ophthalmic community to come together. If you have any questions, then please follow us on social media, contact us through our mailing list, or please contact us to join with one of our webinars. We've organised several successful webinars in countries like Bangladesh, Pakistan, Mongolia, Myanmar, and they've become really successful. I had the pleasure of meeting some candidates on my recent trip to Hong Kong at the APAO, and the feedback there from them is that it's opened doors they never thought possible, and that is because they have then moved through the system, as I've explained, onto the fellowship program and are looking forward to participating in a fellowship later this year. Also, I had the pleasure of contacting the successful candidate at the David and Molly Pyatt Award last year from Rwanda, who took the exam in Rwanda rather, and he's using those funds to travel to the AAO this year and then subsequently stay on for training. So there is massive opportunity within the Ophthalmology Foundation and at starting point of the examinations. So thank you for your time today. If you have any questions, then please let us know.
Nicola, thank you so much. So again, input your questions in the Q&A right now, reach out to us, social media, our mailing list, email, website, however you prefer. And next up, we have Cordula Gobble-Obermeyer, our staff lead on the IOFF-OF Fellowships program. She'll cover kind of an overview of the program, key things that you need to know if you're interested, and ways to get deeper information. Oh, you're muted, Cordula.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Christine, for introducing me. Hello, everybody. Hello to the participants of this special webinar. I'll be talking about the subspecialty fellowship program. This is an opportunity for young ophthalmologists from low-resource and underserved countries who wish to enhance their skills and their knowledge in their subspecialty. We offer advanced training at leading host institutions globally. We have mainly university eye hospitals or big tertiary centers who help us provide with training. Our fellows are committed to return to their home country, to resume their positions, and to bring the newly acquired skills and knowledge for the benefit of their patients and, of course, of their colleagues. Next slide, please. The fellowship program invites young ophthalmologists from low-resource underserved countries to apply for a 3 months, a 6 months, or a 1 year fellowship, either in one of these durations. Our candidates actually are under 40 years of age at the time of completing the application. And they have completed their residency training and have obtained their specialist in ophthalmologist degree. They come with a recommendation from their present and their previous chair. And very important to us is that they have a specific goal that they wish to follow up during the fellowship training. So the specific goal, for example, could be a ongoing or recurring challenge they face in their subspecialty during their daily work. The majority of our fellowships actually are the 3 month fellowships. We offer the 6 month fellowships in collaboration with the Eye Cancer Foundation. We have awards for the 1 year fellowship in collaboration with the Retina Research Foundation. And we have recently, we have just installed the IOFF AOI Research Fellowship with 1 year duration. So this all is available to you. Next slide, please. On this slide, you can see where the fellowship program actually is active. The red countries, the countries marked in red, are the so-called host countries. This is where we have host centers with which we collaborate. The yellow ones are the centers where we have our candidates from. And we have the ones that are red and yellow. These actually are the so-called hybrid countries. These are countries where we actually have a host center, but where we also have fellows from. And just recently, we are very happy to say that we have candidates from Bhutan, from Laos, from Mauritania, Tajikistan, and very new is a candidate from Guyana. So this is very exciting, and we're happy to know that actually, in collaboration with the Ophthalmology Foundation, we are able to provide subspecialty training to a lot of countries all over the globe. Next slide, please. On that slide, you can see what are the favorite subspecialties. It is important to say that we're not supporting training in refractive or aesthetic surgery, as both trainings are not considered to be a basic need for poor people. So we focus on training in vitretina. Cataract surgery is very important. Cornea is very important. Glaucoma, medical retina, and pediatric ophthalmology, of course, oculoplastic. So this is actually what are the leading causes of blindness throughout the world. And we are very happy that we can help a little bit with our training program. Next slide, please. When you put together an application file, it is very important to know that we are not offering a curriculum. So the training actually is individualized to each fellow, which means that we suggest that a candidate and the potential host schedule a short meeting and discuss what a fellow actually wants, or the candidate, excuse me, wants to learn, and can discuss with the host if this would be possible. So it is very important to pay special attention to our questions regarding your motivation, your expectations, and the impacts one wants to gain from attending our program. The majority of trainings is classified as observership. This is due to regulation in the host centers or in the host countries, and of course to limited time. Surgical exposure is possible in few cases, for example, in India, where our candidates can obtain a temporary recognition of their specialist degree and then can enjoy cataract training in cataract surgery, in glaucoma and oculoplastic. But this is limited to very few cases. The application process actually is pretty simple. So we have an online registration form which needs to be filled in with your personal data, with data from your bio, with your statements regarding motivation, expectation, and impacts you wish to gain from attending the training. And there are some sections where you can upload your documents. Once the application has been determined eligible, then we ask you to choose and contact your favorite host from our directory. The host can then accept you provisionally, and you can agree on a start date. Then the application will be complete, will be processed for experts review and for our funding decision. And after that, we will help you with our supporting letters with your visa application, and we will transfer the funds to your personal bank account. It is very important to know that we only allow to contact one host at a time. This is in fairness to our host centers and also to other candidates. Next slide, please. Christine, next one, please. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so you can have a look at our host network when you go to our website, www.ioff.org. And we will have the next webinar in April. We have planned it for April 29, but this will still need fixing. You can sign up for our mailing list. You can visit our website, the IOFF website and the Ophthalmology Foundation website, and you can always send me an email and I will make sure to reply. Thank you very much for your attention, and I'm handing over to Christine. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cordula.
You're welcome.
Next up, we have Gabriela Pellis, our co-chair of our faculty development programs, who will overview the program, explain both online and in-person opportunities, and again, how to participate and get more information. Thanks, Gabby.
Thank you, Christine. Faculty development is one of the core programs of the Ophthalmology Foundation, and our mission is to improve the teaching skills of ophthalmic educators. This means people who train ophthalmologists, who are teachers of ophthalmologists or instructors, with the ultimate idea of training them better while increasing the ease and availability of faculty development training. Our programs are accessible. We have formats in person and online. Our idea, as I said, is for capacity building, and they are free for participants. Next one, please. We offer mentorship opportunities, one-to-one and one-to-many mentorship opportunities. We have an online course that is asynchronous, where we cover, it's called the teaching series, and there we cover a variety of topics such as top-notch strategies for teaching and learning, assessment, curriculum development, etc. Next month, we are starting also a series of webinars that are synchronous, again, about different topics related to ophthalmic education. Our first one is going to be regarding artificial intelligence in medical education. We also have a database of educational resources that we have curated from around the world and that we update monthly, and the updates are announced in our monthly newsletter. The next one, please. We also offer sessions at conferences such as the American Academy of Ophthalmology annual meeting, the APAO annual meeting. We have just come back from Hong Kong, the Pan American regional meeting next month in Santiago in Chile, and also the Leaders in Education courses that are planned for teachers of any kind of ophthalmologists or medical students, and where we offer, again, highly interactive sessions on different topics in ophthalmic education. The next one, please. If you'd like to know more about us, please follow us on social media and Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, or sign up for our mailing list so you can receive our monthly newsletter with all the news regarding our programs. You may join one of our webinars that are also announced through our newsletter and through our social media, or look for us in person at congresses. As I said, the next one is going to be the Pan American one in Santiago in Chile in March. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gabby. And now moving on to our fourth program, we have Dr. Carl Golnick, and he will provide an overview of the program, a little bit on how it works, and ways to learn more and get involved.
All right, well, thanks, Christine, and greetings, everyone. So accreditation, when we use the term, we want to make sure people understand we're talking about accreditation of training programs. When we talk about individuals, we talk about certification. So accreditation is typically a voluntary evaluation at achieving certain standards. And the idea behind this is that hopefully to protect the residents' education and, of course, the public, and to make sure that the program has the adequate resources to train competent ophthalmologists. Ultimately, we think this will improve patient care. Next slide. So we created international accreditation guidelines based on a template from the World Federation for Medical Education that was specifically designed for people like us to take their template and adapt it to our specialty. The guidelines are on our website, free of charge, of course, and there's a self-assessment that's available. And really, the self-assessment simply takes the guidelines and turns it into questions. How do you do X? How do you do Y? How do you train? And so on. To make use of this system, you can submit your application and materials online. We think it's affordable compared to other accreditation systems. There are tiered fees, just like with the examinations that you've heard about, matching World Bank rankings for the various countries. And we do virtual site visits, usually, to decrease the cost of the accreditation process. Next slide. Any interested eligible programs can apply. To be eligible, the training has to be ophthalmology residency. The training has to be at least 3 years in duration, and you have to have graduated at least one class of residence, because one of the things that we look at is surgical numbers. How many cases have the residents done? And this is a picture from one of our programs that's already been accredited in Mexico, and that's the plaque you can see that you get to hopefully hang on your front foyer wall saying your program has met international standards for training competent ophthalmologists. Next slide. So to initiate the process of accreditation, the program completes a standardized self-assessment that I just mentioned. And this really is meant to be a mechanism for improvement. That's what we're about in this accreditation process. We want people to look at the guidelines and the self-assessment, find out if there are gaps based on these international guidelines, and if there are gaps, address those gaps to improve your program. We then review the self-assessment, and if it looks good, then we will schedule a site visit. And the site visit really is to just verify what's in the self-assessment. There's an old saying, trust but verify. And so we want to verify what you have in the self-study. Then the site visitors make a report, and the accreditation committee reviews the program self-assessment and the report to reach a decision of either no accreditation or basic non-surgical or advanced surgical accreditation. And of course, this accreditation is not forever, it's for 5 years. No matter where you stand in the basic or advanced, there will always be feedback given to your program with ideas about how to try to improve your program. And hopefully in 5 years, when you come back for reaccreditation, that will be one of the first things we will ask about is, hey, did you take our advice? How have you improved your program since we saw you 5 years ago? Next slide. And the accreditation fees, the initial application fee for the review of the self-study is $150 for any of these programs. And the accreditation fee, again, is based on World Bank data, so you can see here the costs involved. Next slide. So to learn more about accreditation, like all of our other programs, you can go to our website. If you Google Ophthalmology Foundation accreditation, the first thing up will be our accreditation page where all of the documents that I've mentioned are downloadable. You can sign up for our mailing lists and then read more about the accreditation process with the QR code or simply Googling Ophthalmology Foundation and accreditation. Next, I think I'm done.
Yes, thank you, Carl. So now we will have our Q&A session. We've given everyone a little bit to think about, and I am sure there's some follow-up questions. So please use the Q&A box in your chat layout as participants, and Jody Hicks will help lead the discussion.
No questions have come in yet, but we can still give it a few minutes.
Yes. In the meantime, I will share a QR code to get to links to all of our programs, as well as our socials, our website, and our general email where we can forward any questions to the appropriate person.
I've got a question for Cordula.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the fellowship program is for quote unquote young ophthalmologists, and it said on the slide less than 40 years of age. And is that more of a guideline than a rule? In other words, if you have a candidate that's maybe 41 or 42, but they're trying to learn something and create and gain skills that are really needed where they live, is that still somebody that could apply and be considered?
So yes, we have the timeline of 40 years for a very rough as a very rough criteria. So we are interested in finding candidates whose training makes a lot of impact and has a lot of good benefit for the home institute, for the person themselves, for the candidates, the patients, and the colleagues. So we are not interested in finding we're not interested in finding people who are under 40, but we want to find those whose training is really impactful. So if somebody is a little above 40, please feel free to apply. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Wonderful. Well, since the Q&A is a little quiet today, I think we'll wrap up. Thank you everyone for attending. Thank you to all the panelists for sharing your expertise and information about the programs that you run. And we look forward to seeing you in the future, taking your exams, applying for fellowships, at a faculty development session in person or online, or having your program apply for accreditation. Thank you so much.
Can I say one last thing, Christine?
Absolutely, Carl.
So, and for the attendees, you'll be getting a link, right, to the recorded presentation. So please share that with all of your friends and colleagues. We're trying to get the word out so people know what we're about, and we're anxious to hear from anybody interested in any of our programs. So please let us know if there's interest. I mean, any sort of questions, we're happy to answer and try to help you with in any of the areas that we are trying to improve education and assessment around the world.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
Okay, bye.
Have a good day, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.